Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
It's Pat and JT. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, texting at 402-403-9478. So you can get a hold of us. Sliding into our DMs is probably the easiest, though. But you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter.
That's true. I'm making coffee as we speak right now, recording in the morning. Got the coffee maker going, so I might have to pop out for just a quick second, but that's like 3 steps away. 3 steps, literally. It's right here next to me. So yeah, the countdown continues. Still doesn't feel like Christmas. I have Christmas presents coming in the mail literally tomorrow. And I'm sure they even deliver right up until Christmas Day. But the stuff I had, I was fortunate. They said it would be here 2 days before. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. Nothing like waiting till the very last second. I mean, but it's like the last second keeps getting moved back and back. Like you see notes on the 12th, like order by today if you want delivery by Christmas. It's like, dude, that's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I get it though.
So we're good. I think it is that urgency for a lot of people. You know, I mean, it used to be, obviously, you had to go to the store. Now you don't have to go to the store. You order online. Now they deliver right up till Christmas Day. And so you can procrastinate a lot more than we used to.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
And,
my wheelhouse.
But the urgency makes you get more creative.
Yeah. No, it's true. Say. It does. You're absolutely right. We've got Beth put a treats basket thingy on the porch that she takes in and out every day if we have things delivered for our delivery friends. And they have, it was like little snacks and little waters. And everybody but one has taken one. Everybody but one has taken one. And one guy took 2, which we encourage multiples, but one person didn't even look at it. What's wrong with our snacks?
Maybe just didn't need any that day.
Who would always need a snack for your truck?
It's kind of a neat little thing to do, is to have something sitting out there so that they can grab it, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Some water to grab, but still to get a snack is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Speaking of my lovely wife, she's super sweet, but then she comes in right before we start recording and she's like, hey, would you want to play the audio of you mouth breathing last night? Like, oh no, that sounds like a terrible idea. So, wait, I mean,
there's audio and video, or just audio?
Well, it's dark. So it's just basically just audio. So I'll try to get that. And if you guys really want to hear it, I'll play it. Like, I don't care, but
it's
super
the video
sweet.
Or the audio we didn't know we needed.
Right. Until you heard it. It's so gross. Mouth breathing is so disgusting. I get kicked in the back probably 10 times a night because I mouth breathe, apparently, and snore.
There must be a payoff for you there.
Gross.
Maybe you like that more than you want to admit.
Like being kicked?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So way to get her to touch you.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point.
Be a payoff.
Yeah. I'm going to eventually start liking pain and things are going to get twisted.
All right. So, I know what I was going to say. Just a TV show alert. Have you seen the David Foster special on Netflix?
No, I've not.
It's really very good. I didn't know what to expect, because obviously he's been the, I don't know, center of attention because of his wife, Catherine McPhee, right?
He comes off as a kind of a sleazeball.
He does. And I tell you this, I think the special will change your mind somewhat. Because he talks about, and his daughters are all on there too. And it's kind of interesting. He kind of outs himself on several occasions about how he didn't own up to the moment like he should have, and calls himself a runner. He says, that's probably the reason why I've been married 5 times, is when things get hard, I leave. And, but all of his kids in unison basically are that he's a terrific dad. But it's interesting that his dad died when he was 18. And so he was the only man in the house, so to speak, at 18 years old, with sisters and a mom, 2 older, 2 younger, and then his mom. Mm-hmm. And he chose to leave instead of staying and handling the mess of what it was.
So it's a learned behavior.
And so it started early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he has all daughters, and he has 5 ex-wives. He's surrounded by women.
And 5 of them are angry, probably, or disappointed or upset.
Yeah, I think they've gotten over it.
They rich. That's why.
That's part of it. Yeah, because it's unbelievable. But they had Celine Dion was on. They talk about how he got started with Josh Groban, how he got started, because Josh Groban was like thrown into the deep end at 18 years old. He was still in high school when he first met Foster. And it was just like, it's really fascinating, but you hear him owning up to the fact that he should have done a lot of things different than the way he did. And, but all of his kids think he's a great dad. You know, they
that's
all
good.
are all on.
So then I wonder, as Catherine McPhee, if she thinks, is this pattern ending with me, or am I just going to be the next victim when stuff gets tough?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the big thing is that he's been able to own it now. So it's out there. It's not like this behavior that he doesn't really acknowledge. He just does.
Yeah.
So now he's kind of acknowledged it and it's out there. And she was talking about, 'cause she's been with him a few years now. And there's a 34-year age gap.
Wow.
She's at least younger than one of his daughters, if not 2 or 3. He has 10 kids.
Yeah. That's just so
one
weird.
Of them, she said, I'm an only child and I have 9 siblings.
Wow.
She says, how jacked up is that?
That is pretty. Hello, Arkansas. That is pretty jacked up.
Right?
It sounds so messed up.
It does, but it seems to be fairly functional. I think the kids are well adjusted. It's most of the wives are a little crazy. He points out one in particular that the divorce never should have happened, he said. And it's like, wow, that's really honest considering Kat's sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the one that he feels the worst about. But it was really interesting because I, like you, I kind of felt the same way about him, you know, like, but that's all we know is the most recent events and seeing him and some of the things that he's created and some of it goes back to when his early days working with the band Chicago.
Yeah. And
how he took them and totally retooled them and then made them superstars and watching how he works with people. And it's like, it's really cool. It really is cool. So I would highly suggest if you get a chance to watch it. And it even goes back and makes mention of his early days in reality TV, which he was kind of a pioneer in that respect because they had Princes of Malibu.
I remember that.
Right. And that was with the Jenner kids.
Yep.
Right.
Brody and Yep. I remember that show.
Right. So when he was drawing his little circle of friends, you know how Twitter puts out the picture of, it's like your avatar and the people that you interact with the most. And it's got his wives and it's got their kids and then their kids' friends and then this friends and this. And it's like his world is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact, and he's written so many songs that we forget about all the songs he's written. Like you hear these songs, these people performing these songs that he's written. You're like, you're kidding me. This guy's been responsible for dozens and dozens of hits over the years.
It goes back to Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. And there's quite a bit in there with Dolly Parton talking about him doing what he did to her song because he's the reason it was sung that way. And then they said he wanted that song for Whitney and they went to the record store to go get a copy because of this was in 1980. I think it was, or somewhere, no, it was that 1990, right around 1990, because Whitney Houston started it. That's right. So anyway, They went to the record store to get a copy of it, and all they could find was a Linda Ronstadt version. And then he called Dolly and said, "Hey, we're going to use your song." And she was so excited. She says, "I can almost hear him singing, blah blah blah." And he's looking. And he says, "I don't know what you're talking. That's not in the song." It's just, "Oh, Linda Ronstadt only recorded 2 verses, and there were 3, and the third verse is the one that knocks it out of the park."
Oh, okay.
So then it became the Whitney Houston anthem. And made Dolly a lot of money.
A lot. Probably built 90% of Dollywood.
It's really fascinating to watch, all that stuff. And then, it was just fun. So anyway, so if you get a chance.
I will. Yeah. Always looking for good stuff to watch, especially coming into
Netflix.
the holidays.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. Everything right now is like all holiday. It's like holiday movies. And if you like holiday movies, man, you are in your sweet spot.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's like the rinse, wash, repeat. Or whatever it goes, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
It's the same storyline over and over in a different
Yes,
city.
the extremely hot girl or guy comes back to their hometown and they are, because they are a developer for a huge hotel or they are architect of an amusement park and they're coming back, whatever, and they hook up with their old love and they change their mind on Christmas because they hate Christmas because their dad's an alcoholic. That's like all the Christmas show movies.
That's all the Christmas shows right there.
Yeah.
You just did it. Very good. Very good.
Yep. Speaking of things to watch, listen to, we did get a text, 402-403-9478 from Pam. She said, "Hey GT, I don't know if you know about this already, but I'm a few episodes behind, but there is an official Yellowstone podcast hosted by Jefferson White, who plays Jimmy." She said it's great. He's had Casey, Jamie, Beth, and Rip, all those guys on, Cole, Kelly, Wes, and Luke Grimes. There's only 2 episodes so far, but she said it's really super good and wanted you to check it out.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, and he perplexes me. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find more information on him, but the character Jimmy is just kind of like a lost soul, and he's not very good at anything. He's learning how to be a cowboy, and I think at one time one of the characters said something about if you're here, they probably sent you here to learn how to be a cowboy, and because he didn't know how to ride, he didn't know how to do anything, and he wanted to be a bronc rider, and he ends up getting injured, and Kevin Costner, John Dutton pays his bills, and then he gets branded, and a lot of stuff going on. You'll understand all that once you watch all the.
Like he gets actually branded himself. Gets branded.
He got branded.
Is that a cowboy thing?
The Yellowstone brand. You'll learn the backstory.
Well, like in real life.
I know you're trying to start watching
like
this. I don't
IRL in real life. Do cowboys get branded?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
I mean, maybe they do. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they get through this rite of passage and they get spanked with a hot piece of metal or something.
Think the reason why they're branded, I have to think, they have to earn the brand, so to speak, but it's also to buy their silence to a degree, because you have the brand, then you've probably been a witness to or a party of something that had to do with either the train station or
I don't know what any of this means, but okay.
I know you don't.
I wasn't talking about your third dimension fairyland. I was wondering if it, like in real life, it happens, but apparently not. Okay, good.
I don't think so. I think they get tattoos.
Yeah.
But I don't think the branding is the norm.
Okay.
But this is Yellowstone, and that's their way of doing their thing. So anyway, but yeah, the Jimmy character, he's pretty interesting. He's an interesting dude, but he's going to be part of the 4/6s. A lot of people, seems like online right now, are pissed off because they're spending so much time on Yellowstone doing flashbacks, flash forwards to 1883 and the 4/6s, that it's like, we have Yellowstone stuff we need to do. Let's do Yellowstone stuff, and let's not worry about the 4/6s or 1883. Let's focus.
Yeah.
Focus
on this make-believe area.
Right?
Over here, yeah.
That's what we're wanting to tie up some loose ends there. And so some people are demonstrating some frustration in some of the groups. But I will check out the podcast.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, sounds good.
So
Thanks for your text, Pam.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's kind of the story right now, I guess. Really, is that's all I had for you was David Foster, and that was it.
Okay. All I'm bringing is mouth breathing audio in future episodes, and she made me. I'm snoring, but snoring is basically mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Except if you ever sat next to somebody who is actually literally mouth breathing,
mm-hmm.
like they're thinking of something, their mouth's open there.
I've caught myself when I'm awake mouth breathing, and I've got to shut it.
Yes.
So gross.
Yes. All right. I did have one other thing, and this is kind of bittersweet. Somebody had posted yesterday, if you recall, it was back in 2007 when we were basically introduced to Michael Vick.
Yes.
And the House of Horrors that he had at his home, where he was fighting dogs. Not him. He was having dogs fight each other.
Yeah.
So no jokes about it. Somebody posted yesterday, the incredible Vic dog era is over. Of all the dogs that were rescued, 48 dogs that were rescued and seized in 2007, they estimate that this dog would have been 15 years old. He's lived the last 14 years. He was 15 when he died. I'm sorry, but the last 14 years of his life, he actually was living pampered like a prince with a family. He was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was the last living dog of those 48 that were rescued.
That's cool. I'm glad that he got to live the last few years of his life like that. That's awesome.
And the majority of his life, but the first year of his life was absolute torture.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But the post just reads, and I'll go grab it here. On Saturday, we had the honor and privilege of attending the transition of the sweet, shy Frodo, as his family helped him pass over to be with the rest of the dogs from the group. He was the last of the 48 survivors from that game-changing case. Seized and rescued in 2007, They estimate him to be 15 years old, but the important part is the last 14 years of his life were spent being pampered, how we loved him. He was one of the bravest dogs that we've ever met, one of the bravest survivors we've ever met. Apparently another dog had just passed away also. His name was Johnny Justice, and they got to meet his people, which were Chris and Jen, just a couple of days before their dog passed away. And they said another one passed away in October, which one of the other one, but they had some great pictures of these last survivors. And it's just, that's something nobody ever reported on, was the fact all those dogs were saved and they were placed in homes to be taken care of.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. I mean, I knew they'd been rescued and placed in homes, but I never thought about follow-ups on where they went, how they're doing.
I'm mad that there wasn't something, we didn't see, but maybe they preferred it that way because those poor animals were tortured.
Sure. And it's been 14 years. Wow. 14.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it seems like just not long ago that whole thing happened.
I can feel the outrage. I can feel the anger in the pit of my stomach when I think about that story. And that was in 2007, for God's sake.
So disgusting.
But yeah, so just thought I'd pass on because, again, bittersweet, but it is kind of a happy ending and finding out that those dogs were so well taken care of after all of that.
Sweet.
So there.
All right, that's a good one to wrap it up on.
Okay.
You can also email us, hey@patandjt.com. Text 402, just like Pam did, 402-403-9478. Slide into our DMs. It's Pat and JT. Thanks for listening.
I'm here.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.